Now, the special interest of Tulsa Interfaith Alliance in this issue is the fact that we recognize that these symbols, the teepee, the dance, the feathers, are essentially religious symbols. And as part of our task as Tulsa Interfaith Alliance to protect the religious heritage of all of our peoples and all of our different faiths. The problem is that the larger culture, for the most part, does not recognize these symbols as specifically religious or spiritual symbols, but they are. And that's why we are particularly offended by the use of these Indian mascot images. Think about the football game and what happens with Native American mascots there. Think about the pretend Indian who comes dancing out of the pretend teepee, wearing the pretend feathers, out of a smoky area, again, artificially created. We don't see those as religious symbols, but if we saw a priest coming out of a church on a football field, or a rabbi coming out of a synagogue on a football field, we would be very aware of the fact that this is not appropriate. Just a personal observation. I've been doing some kind of advocacy for civil rights and religious issues now for almost 50 years. I have never seen such an array, such a diverse array of organizations and institutions standing behind one issue as we have here. From psychological associations to the United States Civil Rights Commission, NAACP, our Hispanic friends, the Native American, the Intertribal Council, the religious community, the Methodist, Tulsa Metropolitan Ministry, Tulsa Interfaith Alliance, even the athletic community. The NCAA has sanctioned colleges that use Native American mascots. Surely the time has come for this bill to be approved in the state of Oklahoma, of all places. Thank you.
And using names like this or demeaning, and we should avoid them whatever it takes. It's time for a change. It's time for a change now. And so we need to get behind our Native American friends and support them. Talk to senators and representatives, anybody else that we come on and say, look, no more savages, no more redskins in Oklahoma, just Native American friends. Thank you.
Some time ago, the great Mahatma Gandhi said that violence is not only the aggression of killing and injuring others through weapons in our hands, but it is also perpetuated when we consider others as less with our words. This form of violence has been long seen perpetuated against our brothers and sisters of Native American heritage. We, the Latino Hispanic community, stand in solidarity with our Native American brothers and sisters in calling for the legislation of Oklahoma to not only consider but to approve unanimously Senate Bill 765. It is time that Oklahomans paid legitimate honor to the state's claim of being Native America.
I think it's so ironic, and I loved what Dr. Sanchez says, that here in Oklahoma, I came from New Hampshire and thought this was a magnificent state in Native American culture, and I find it such a great irony that we use today, in today's age, these mascots that are so highly offensive. I think it's time to put an end to it, and I hope we all contact our legislators and get on with this. Thank you.
Yeah.
We believe that schools have a responsibility to educate their students and to refrain from using their resources and influence to perpetuate misrepresentations of any culture or people. We believe that the elimination of Native American nicknames and images as sports mascots will benefit not only Native Americans, but all Americans. That the elimination of stereotypes will make room for education about real Indian people, their culture, heritage, and ongoing Indian issues. We call upon people of goodwill to work toward eliminating the use of Native American nicknames and mascots in our educational institutions. We applaud those who have led and continue to lead the effort to educate the public, as well as those institutions who voluntarily have chosen to discontinue the use of insulting mascots and images. We urge respectful dialogue and comprehensive education as the roads to understanding.
In the Holy Quran, God tells Muslims, "You who believe, do not let one set of people make fun of another set. Do not defame one another. Do not insult by using nicknames. Do not backbite or speak ill of one another." That's from chapter 49, for those of you who want to look it up. The use of mascots bearing distorted images of any people is discriminatory, derogative, disrespectful, and divisive. We all want to be treated with respect. It is only right for our schools to model the golden rule. How many of our religions, every major religion, promotes the golden rule in one wording or another. To do unto others as you want them to do to you. Few of us would be able to abide the constant references and images to names that insulted us, like savages, and to those that constantly reminded us of extremely traumatic injuries of our people's past, like redskins. It is on both religious and humane grounds that the Muslims of Tulsa stand in solidarity with our Native American neighbors in promoting the Oklahoma 2009 Senate Bill 765, the Anti-Discriminatory Mascot Act.
This issue clearly came to the fore the last time we brought it to the legislature's attention. At the time, yes, there was a lot of, well, I didn't know, well, now you know. Because we've had continual education, lobbying, educational level, grassroots education efforts throughout the last 5 years. And as with anything, knowledge is responsibility. And our Oklahoma legislators now have the responsibility, after they have been educated for over 5 years, to pass this bill, to be responsible, to do the right thing, to be moral and do the right thing. The time is right. It will not go away. It will not be the last time that we introduce this bill either. If it does not pass this time, we will introduce it again. We will introduce it again and again until it's passed. Because it's time the Native Americans in this state are given the same respect and treatment, civil treatment, as other races in this state receive.
And it's accepted here in Oklahoma because there are so many. There's 165 schools. Out of the 900 left in the entire country, 165 of them are here. And we are the only state that's never changed even one in a public school system. The only one. Now, how can that be? I just don't understand that, that how can, out of all the schools, districts in this state, that one could step forward and say, I'm going to do the right thing. And that's why we identify redskins and savages. I mean, those are like slurs. I mean, who would accept that? The black skins, the white skins. It doesn't even sound right. But they use it as redskin because it's done so often. It's accepted. And it should be.